and that is the well-known Invention number 4 in D minor. It's originally from the notebook for Wilhelm Friedemann Bach, which Bach started for his oldest son when he was about 10 in 1720. By 1723, he collected all of the two-part inventions and the sinfonias, which we often think of as three-part inventions, together, and in a fair copy edition began to use them much more with his pupils, and it became the tradition to use them for other composers and teachers, of course, throughout the century, so that these pieces did not actually get published until 1801. But this is well known and beloved, and for good reason. But I do want to point out that just to paraphrase part of Bach's opening, that in his instruction for what these works were, that they are for amateurs of the keyboard, and I think amateurs would be more like the word amateur, to be an admirer of the keyboard, that they are shown a clear way to play cleanly in two parts, and also, above all, to achieve a cantabile style of playing. Well, a lot of people don't think of these things as cantabile. They think of them more as dry exercises. And we have a variety of performances, even by famous performers. So I want to spend just a few moments on tempo. From many of us, we found that Glenn Gould is an early pioneer in the music of Bach, but listen to the tempo that Gould used. And he played it all staccato. Was so it was all staccato and about that tempo. The next person who came along after Gould's death in the 1980s was Andras Schiff, and yet I still hear that he was influenced by Gould. He tended to play even faster, although a little bit more legato and with a little bit more, say, rubato even. So he was more like in this range. Now, recently, we have Simone Dinnerstein, who has played almost half as slow, or twice as slow, I guess. That at about 37, I really want to get there to be fair. And so, something like this. So, what is the right way? Well, I think one of the answers is there is no one right way. So I'm going to suggest another tempo based on looking at Bach's music and some of his other works. But I don't think there's a right answer. We can't get Bach on the cell phone right now and say, Sebastian, what did you mean? So I think let's consider the idea of cantabile, and certainly in Dinnerstein's recording, certainly is emphasizing the cantabile aspect more than the other two examples that I gave. And frankly, more than what I was doing, because I'm playing probably somewhere around 63, Gould around 72, Schiff a little bit more than that. So we have, for me, one reference is the last movement of the F minor concerto for keyboard. And that starts out like this. I feel like that these are kindred spirits, that these pieces are similar in temperament. So I think I'm playing somewhere in the neighborhood of between 60 and 63. So I'd suggest that as that's what I'm going to be working at, but my disclaimer is that these can be played at any number of tempi and still be satisfying.